it's Polo Bear. I don't care. It's quite a rough ride, just like life. But I'm kind of patient, 'cause only time will tell. It's gonna go up, so you better stay calm. Grow your coins, you gotta grow your coins. Grow your coins, grow your coins. Grow your coins, you gotta grow your coins. Grow your coins, grow your coins. Grow your coins, grow your coins, you gotta grow your coins. Grow your coins, grow your coins. Grow your coins, grow your coins, you gotta grow your coins.
What's up, everybody? It's a late night, 10 o'clock Eastern time. I'm here with Crypto Face, the creepy ninja in the dark room working magic on the charts. Welcome, dude. I hear myself, but I don't hear you talking.
Can you hear me now?
There you are. There you are. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Oh, okay. All right. So I figure if you can't beat them, join them.
What the heck?
So I figured I'd hide how pretty I am.
Dude, I'm getting echo playback, dude. This.
I hear. Are you watching it? Do you have it on live?
No, no, I don't, dude. I think it's coming through your end, bro.
Let me see. Audio input capture. There shouldn't be anything. Here, I know what I'll do. I'll change it. Hold on, everybody. Technical difficulties, apparently. A for crow, echo. Here, let me take this shit off. I can't. I can't have a bag on my face. I'm too pretty. Hold on, I gotta
echo, bro. There's like two of you right now, man.
All right, I'm gonna fix that here in a second. Where's my? I hear myself like on like I'm hearing my own live video. All right, now let's see what's up.
Testing. I think we're good, dude.
All right. So I just have your audio coming out of one of my monitors, that's all.
Oh, shit. We're not good. It's still echoing. Damn.
That's you, brother.
There's no way.
You just did something. I can hear myself talking through you.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't have this is trippy, dude.
Oh wait, maybe I have the shit on. Hold up.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
I don't have the video. I have no idea, because this is the same way I typically always run it. Maybe video playing on Discord. I don't use Discord. Zoom. So I'm echoing for you?
No, I think we're good now. We might be good now.
Okay. Everybody's saying it's fine on their end.
I think we're good, dude. I think we're good.
Cool. All right. So here we are. Finally made it. Think we're good to go. Everybody else, I just rebooted my whole computer and everything, so I should be good. All right. So here's the thing. So you contacted me a while back. I don't know, what's it been? Maybe a month ago or so, maybe a few weeks.
With Market Cipher, a couple weeks, man. Time goes by quick, and so it's only been like maybe a week and a half. I think it's been like a week and a half.
All right, so it hasn't been that long. It feels like it's been a month. I'm going to move my chat over here, so I'll put it right under you. So, and I get people sending me all kinds of random stuff all the time. Hey, check this out. Check out this project. Hey, my buddy's doing this. Hey, I'm doing that. And I see so much stuff. And you're like, hey, and indicators are kind of a fun thing for me because I like seeing how other people kind of work the market, how people kind of get their information, what they're using to review the data. And so when you said you had this new indicator that you've been using for a while that's been treating you well and you've been doing really well with it, I figured, okay, I'll take a look. It's, indicator, cool. And nobody's sending me any files because I never open files when people send me stuff anymore. I don't do any of that shit. But you're like, hey, just give me your trading view username and I'll turn it on for you. And you did. And you sent me a bunch of links to a bunch of videos. I watched them all. Some of them I watched more than once. And I pulled it all up in TradingView. And at first I was like, holy shit, there's a lot of stuff going on here. And, as I'm watching these videos, I'm slowly kind of learning what everything means. We're going to go over every detail tonight. Okay. And I want you to treat this now. So everybody knows Face has not paid me a dime to be on tonight. Like, no money's changing hands. I legitimately have him on here because this indicator is the shit. I mean, quite honestly, it's pretty badass. And I do think it's a little pricey personally, but it's one of those things that it seems pretty damn powerful, and it seems to do the work of quite a few different indicators wrapped up into one. So I guess starting off, tell me a little bit about how Market Cipher even came about. Like, where did this come from? Was this somebody came to you and said, hey, I'm working on this? Was it like you and somebody else said, hey, we should come up with a new indicator? How was this even born?
Yeah. First off, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Not to sound cheesy or cliche, but watching you kind of inspired me to start YouTubing. Profit trailers kind of like what got me going. But anyways, enough about that. A mentor of mine I met through real estate years and years ago. I kind of got him into crypto. He traded for over 25 years. He's 60 something years old. Basically retired, you know what I mean? Does his own, he's got a family, grandkids, everything. And he not only is an amazing trader, but he's also a really good programmer. He's worked on complex temperature mechanism machines for military and major governments, all kinds of associations. And basically, it's something that we both worked on for almost 2 years. And really, what Market Cipher is our quest to have like the holy grail, right? Same thing with bots. Like, everyone wants to have a bot that does everything for you and makes the right moves. And that's what we wanted with an indicator. And basically it was over a year and a half of back testing indicators, being multiple indicators. So for example, like in Cipher B, which we'll talk about, Blue Wave, there are a number of statistics and indicators that are combined and weighted. So maybe one indicator is 30% weighted, one's 20%, one's 10%, one's 40%. And basically, over the years, what we did was just go through history and backtest like certain formulas and matches. And some are simple, some are more complex. I know there's always going to be trolls and whatnot that say, oh, well, this is just that. And they're wrong. They've all been proven wrong. The results is all that matters. And this is just what I use. This is our creation for what I use to trade the market. And really what it does for me is let me know if it's going to go up or if it's going to go down, which I believe is like half of the Holy Grail. Like if there's two parts, it's the first one is, is it going to go up or is it going to go down? And the second one would be a target. Like what's it actually going to go to? So it doesn't necessarily give me a target. We can assume certain things, but in my opinion, it's the first half of the Holy Grail, and it's simple yet intricate. It is frequent yet accurate. We have over 300 people that are using it. I have people that are brand spanking new to trading, and their first day, I mean, they watched my videos, they applied just simple techniques, you know what I mean? And they're making it work. I also, of course, there are some people that are flopping and groping and they zoom in on small time frames. Like you can have an amazing teacher and you'll still have the kids in the back of the class that fail the class. Right. You know, it's all about the mindset and whatnot. But this, I have never used an indicator like this before. It is, in my opinion, the greatest indicator, not only that you can use for Bitcoin, but shit coins. My people that trade the stocks love it. I know a lot of us are all crypto people, but when you go from crypto trading stocks, it's so much easier. And there's just always an opportunity. There's always an opportunity. So, yeah, it's just.
All right. So, you know, I've never seen an indicator like this either. So that's what really caught my eye. Just honestly, the aesthetics of it is wow, there's a lot of information. Now, if I only knew what the hell all these lines and colors meant. Okay, so, you know, I know, you know, basically from watching the videos, you know, and I just because I have my screen up, you know, typically what I look for, early on, the number one thing that I was looking for was the green dot at the bottom. And that was the easiest thing for me to see, which I'm not seeing any right now. Maybe I'll expand this a little bit and let's go to a day chart. Because what I've noticed is when that green dot pops up at the bottom, it pops up at the same point, and it almost doesn't matter whether it's a 30-minute, hour, 4-hour. It kind of pops up on just about any time frame in relatively the same place.
Yeah, what'll happen is it'll pop up on the lower time frames first. So it'll pop up on like the 1 minute.
Oh, okay, that makes
3
sense.
Minutes to 5 to 10, 12, yada, yada, yada. So yeah.
So those of you looking at my screen, these green dots are right here. And now this is a day chart, so I will have to bring it in a little bit here. So this is the day chart. Now, obviously, I have Market God in here as well. So the buy and sell, that's different. That's just something that I look at and just kind of a reference point to see, you know, kind of confirming different things that I think might be happening. So that's not this indicator. But if you look here, this green dot pops up, and typically, let me see, where are we? Typically, when you see a green dot, it means, well, so on this one, you saw a green dot, the price did go up a bit, but then it came back down. And I didn't see a green dot again for a little while. But like right here, you get the green dot. For whatever reason, that green dot, the price went down, but then it shot up right after. But this is also on a day chart, so there's a bit of a delay there, I noticed. Some of these are dead on. Like here, you got a green dot, price went down, but then it went up. That's odd, actually, because I haven't seen that.
What are you on, the daily?
Yeah, I'm on the daily, on Bitcoin and CoinBase.
And you're looking at the green dots on Cipher B or Cipher A or both? Are you looking at both? Okay, Cipher B, I see it.
Yeah, I'm down at the bottom.
Yeah, so the green dots, I mean, that's basically indicates a bottom. It doesn't mean it's the bottom forever. It doesn't know how much the price will go up from there. But generally, when you see a green dot, yes, that means it is a bottom, certainly.
Okay.
In the larger time frames, obviously, the indicator is going to be more accurate.
Now, what and correct me if I'm wrong, but the primary indication here is basically what you were calling divergence. So in other words, when you see these hills and valleys, and what I got from some of your videos were basically when the price when the hills and valleys are below the baseline, that's when the price action is low, right? And so when you see, one hump and then a second hump, that typically creates a divergence, meaning that the price is going to go up from there. And then if the same humps appear above the baseline, then by the second hump, that the color, the light blue, when that ends, is that confirmation? When that light blue color ends, that's confirmation of the direction down or up, depending on where those hills are on the baseline?
Yes, pretty much.
Okay.
I think we should kind of, I know you're like in the thick of it. Like you've been using Market Cipher, you want confirmations.
You're right. Start at the very beginning. Like, I guess start with the top, like the yellow dotted line, the purple dotted line, the triangles and X's. I guess, start wherever you think is going to be most beneficial to everybody.
Yeah, let me, all right, let me do this. Let me go ahead and share my screen and let me get rid of Discord because people are trying to message me here. Let's take a look, see here. And then I suggest everyone probably get a pen, paper, probably a beer too to crack open. Okay. All right, share. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Sure can.
Or do you just see a big picture of me?
Nope, I see you, or I see your chart.
Okay, sweet. All right, so we're just going to start off going on with like the definition. So there are 3 parts to Market Cipher. Okay, Market Cipher A, B, and SR, support and resistance. So the first that we're going to look at here is Market Cipher A. This is a combination of indicators, some lagging, some foretelling, some leading, right? So first thing, these yellow diamond squares are bullish confirmations, right? So generally we're looking for these to be in clusters to give us an idea of the trend. When you see these in clusters, we're knowing that we are in a bullish trend, okay? Gives us a visual of the environment. The red squares are the opposite. Those indicate that there could be a little turbulence, okay? The little red X's don't mean it's time to short on every single red X. You want to look at everything, right? But red X's are a stronger bearish indication that the price is likely to be heading downwards. And they're rather accurate. We're on the 15-minute here, right? And I always start out with the daily, work your way in. The yellow X's.
Now you start at the daily and work your way in, because if you see something that might be happening, it's easier to get confirmation of the potential of that furthering based off of the lower time frames, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Right. And so your larger time frames with any indicator are always going to take precedent over smaller time frames, right? And then basically, I'll give you an example. A lot of people, YouTubers, you name it, public TA people, they'll look at the daily and then they look at the weekly, right? So let's say I'm looking at the weekly here. And basically I'm going, okay, well, what the hell is going to happen with the weekly? I have no idea, right? And when you go to the daily, it doesn't really give you an in-between people. You can look at the 2 daily and the 3 daily to give you more of a vision to the future on the weekly, right? The 3-day, I love every single time scale. So like I'm looking at the 3-day to get an indication of the future for the weekly. So on the 3-day, right? So let's go back to the weekly here. So we see this green wave. This is money flow index down here on Cipher B.
Oh, wait a minute. The green, that's money flow? Is that measuring new money entering the space?
It's measuring transactions. It is a transactional, so it has nothing to do with price. It just has to do with movement in life, right? And so the more life, naturally things are going to grow, right? And so when it's thick green, we're going up, right? So if it's thick green on Cipher B, that's a time where I'm going to be looking to long some of those green dots when we hit some dips, right? When it's red, that means the transactions are low. And when transactions are low, when a stone has more moss, you know, it's not going to do as well. It's going to go down. Does that make sense? So yeah, it's
less movement means it's collecting more moss. It's not going anywhere. But I get you.
I don't know. That was kind of a myth.
I hear what you're saying, though. I get it.
Yeah. By the way,
green line.
for the past few days, I haven't slept that much. I got like an hour sleep in 28 hours. But
you're a trader. That's just kind of the life you chose, right?
Yeah, so for sure. So
the green line, it looks like there's a red line at the bottom, and that it looks like it turned into a green line that started going up. Is that an extension of the same green cloud, or is that something completely different?
Something completely different.
Okay. I'll let you get to that.
Okay, so we'll stick with Cipher A, although sometimes it's hard to. We're using it all together, people. Okay. All right. So the green dots on Cipher A are extra strong bullish indications. So often I don't necessarily long off of a green dot on Cipher A. I use it as confirmation on a green dot on Cipher B down here. Cipher B is going to give me a better entry. In fact, let me show you guys something super cool here. Okay. So we're going to stay on the weekly. So we have a green dot on Cipher A on the 13th of May. The last time there was a green dot on Cipher A was in October 2015. And just take a look at the chart, right? Boom, green dot right here. Bam. I mean, it shot up to 500 from $256, came back down. Crazy. Everything was crazy, right? But since that green dot,
was that by chance also the EMA crossover, the 13 over the 34? Because I thought I remember seeing something.
I didn't hear the first part.
Was that around where that green dot is? I went back before and I was looking back to see when the 13 crossed up over the 34 on a weekly chart. And that was around, I think, the time that happened last. And then prior to that, it was like a couple of years prior to that even.
It could have very well be. You could pull it up and look, but yeah, I don't know. Beats me. But point is that since that green dot, Bitcoin's only gone up all the way to 19, the 19K, right? Now, check this out. If you think that's cool and that gets you excited, if we look at Cipher B down here, Cipher B on the weekly gave its green dot too long on the week of December 17th. And the price it went off at was the 3,162 to, up in here. So Cipher B called the bottom of the market within $29, $20, right? So this indication alone has had me very comfortable because ever since it popped up, I have been longing the bottoms ever since, and we've been kicking absolute ass. Just a few days ago, I had my biggest trade of the year, right? Okay, so these blue triangles on Cipher A represent a reversal of the previous trend. Not the trend that it's on, but the previous trend, right? So it's also a bullish indication in this sense, right? If it was going up and then it came down and there was a blue triangle, then that would mean that it's a reversal of the other trend. But since we're in this type of market, boom, reversal of the previous trend. Okay. You got your ribbons on here. And last, but certainly not least, this is my my Charles Schwab buddies and my Goldman Sachs buddies that are over there working for Schwab, which, by the way, I'll take the Pepsi challenge against any of the Schwabs, anyone else on YouTube with this indicator. The yellow X is the indicator that doesn't exist, they say, which is the signal for market manipulation.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So how is that going to gauge market manipulation?
Well, if I told you that, Crow, we'd have to keep it a secret. No, so there's that's the sauce, right? Basically, there is just a certain pattern that happens when there are traps. Most of the time, it is a bearish trap. And so what happens is when you see a yellow X, often the price will come up and then it goes down even further. So the yellow X's, especially if you see it on a higher time frame, be careful. Like boom, like we're on the 15-minute, we got a yellow X right here, right now. And so we see that the price has pushed up here. Let me make this bigger. So we got a yellow X on this candle. Price is pushing up a little bit. We're at 10,658. I will not be surprised if the price comes down again. And so on lower time frames, if you start seeing like right here, boom, yellow X, price came up, boop, and it went down, right? Yellow X's 80% of the time means the price is going down. It's going to come up a little bit first. So those yellow X's are pretty damn awesome. Little key side note, when you see the first two yellow X's are generally the strongest. After that, then they start to become normally a little less accurate. But the first two yellow X's, those are money for sure.
The first two yellow X's within any given time frame or specifically on a 5-minute?
Any given time frame, any time frame. When you see two yellow X's, shit's going down most of the time.
Gotcha.
Yep. As far as, when we're looking at time frames, think about it as like crossing the street. So if I just see a green dot, I'm not going to just flop and grope into it along and not pay attention to anything else or any other time frame. If I'm looking at the 30-minute and I see something I like, I'm going to look to the right, look at the 45-minute, look to the left, look at the 15-minute, and make sure that things are adding up. And then I'll look again to the hour, to the one even more than that, and I'll look again to the one to the left, right? So generally, I like having 2 to 4 time frames kind of agreeing with each other. And the larger the time frame, the 2-hour, guys, the 2-hour, you can really eat off the 2-hour. You can eat off any time frame. What's important with Market Cipher is identifying your environment. So we're looking at the money flow on larger time frames to see if we're bullish. Was there just a huge dip? Are we volatile? Is it time to scalp right now on the 5 and the 15? Or are things kind of slow and we don't know what's going to happen and we want to go on the larger time frames? Or both. I trade with 2 accounts. I got one account for swing trades, one account for scalp trades. So my greed doesn't hold me back. Don't enter a trade on the 5-minute. If I enter a trade on the 5-minute, I'm probably not looking to stay in it for more than 30 minutes an hour, maybe 2 hours. If I'm entering on the hour, 1, 2, 3, 4 hours. Daily, same type of thing. So yeah, identify your environment.
So what are it looks like 1, 2, 3, like 8 lines, these 8 wave patterns that are, kind of just falling under the candles. What are those? Some kind of moving average collection or? Yeah,
these are EMA ribbons. A lot of people like to use these. And so, yeah, they're just average ribbons and you can actually customize them yourself too. If you have preferable settings, if you go into settings here, you can choose. Some people like to show this ribbon 9. That shows some other stuff.
But what exactly, when you have all this other stuff going on, what purpose do those actually, like, what are they?
The ribbons?
Yeah.
To be absolutely honest with you, the ribbons was a little sprinkle from my mentor side, but generally use them as a form of like measurement, just a form of measurement. You're looking to long when it's under the ribbons. You'd be looking to short when it's over the ribbons.
Is it kind of like an Ichimoku cloud type thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Okay. Let me take a drink of water real quick because I'm dry as hell.
Sure, I'm gonna put a dip in
for 30 seconds.
Looking at chat, CF's whale crew is making money. Don't wait for things to happen. Make them happen. You got quite the group in chat, man. There's a bunch of pumped up people. 3 things for sure move at whales and go. Exchanges open and closing.
All right.
Crow asking for a discount. Yeah, he's giving everybody a crazy huge discount code at the end of this video. I'm just kidding. I have no idea. I'm just getting everybody excited.
I think we can do a little something. But you know what? Like literally, here, I'll show you guys. Anyone can go into, well, I closed my Discord because people are messaging me like crazy. But anyone can go to my Discord and we have a profit log section. I have over 750 people in my trade group. I have over 300 people using Market Cipher. I haven't gotten one complaint. Everyone, I mean, it's amazing. We are really changing lives with this stuff. I have old 65-year-old men to single mothers to professionals and killers. I have some mega whales that are making mega money. People think, Face, dang, you're making a lot. Like there's guys in my group that put me to shame and make me greedy and make me want to over leverage and screw myself. So yeah, I guarantee no one can come close to this. I'll go against Alesio's LDT V6 indicator. Anyone else, anyone, and I'm not calling anyone out or anything. I'm just saying that when it comes to the people, like we're really changing the world here. Okay, so let's Cipher B. Let's get to the fun stuff. Here. So over time, there's a couple strategies that I use to trade with Market Cipher. Right now, what is simplest and most effective for the masses, what I use the most are these blue momentum algorithm waves, okay? And these things are absolutely kick-ass, all right? And so this was, Crow, you were kind of explaining this a little bit before. So let me explain this here, all right? So if we go back in time, let me clear up Cipher right here. Okay. So how this works. When we see a thick blue wave down here, okay, we have this white part, the light blue part, cut into the blue. Basically what this signifies is the price is churning. It is a bottom, right? Again, doesn't mean it's the bottom, but a bottom, right? So when we see a wave come down here, whenever you see a smaller one, in this case, we would long as soon as the white cuts into the blue. So if it's on the bottom side here, we're looking to long. If it's on the top side coming down, we're looking to short. So let's take a look here. So you can do it on the same wave or a different one. So generally, when it's on the same wave, I've found that the price goes up or down more than if it's on a separate wave. But that's also been wrong. Actually, don't listen to me when I just said that. Who knows? So let's say we entered along right here, right? We move up and we see that it longed somewhere in this candle from 7,600 up to 7,756. We had 2 hours to get a decent price, right? And so we see here the price went up to 7,890. Also, this one's a little small, but there is a chance you could have longed that. It's a little suspicious. But even if you did long this one right here, you still would have been okay. We're looking for healthy blue waves right here. Boom. As soon as it cuts in, bang. You're right on this candle, price goes up. We see that this wave is longer than this wave. So I'm looking to long on these, right? Same thing if we do it from the other side. This is the strategy. I have a video on it. So we see we have a nice blue wave right here, nice thick in length, and we have a nice healthy one right here. So as soon as the white cuts into the blue, I'm looking to short on this candle. And I'm also, of course, scanning other time frames to make sure that's cool. But the 2 hour is money. When you're on the 2, the 3, the 4 hour, those are hidden. So if you shorted right here, 8,000, this wicked all the way down to 78 something. We'll even say you got in at the very bottom. You're a shitter. You got it at 7,880. You flopped and groped into it. Boom. Price came all the way down to $7,531. So that was a good trade. Plus, you got these green dots. These are long and signals. So when you have some of these kind of confirming together, snake eyes, we love seeing two green dots together. Snake eyes, especially on the larger time frames. On the lower time frames, we certainly want to see a cluster. Don't be flopping and groping on the 1 minute, going in on trades off of just 2 green dots when we're in the red here. You have no idea what the hell's going on. Make sure you're looking at the whole picture. So yeah,
so
you're
what
looking
about
for
because some of these, so you've got, like you say, these snake eyes. You're on a 30-minute. You have these snake eyes. You also have 2 giant peaks, basically pointing to those green dots on the bottom. But when let's say you have, let's say you're below the baseline and you've got a green or a blue cluster, or like even up here at the top, on the top left of your baseline, you've got this large hill, 1, 2, 3, 4, ultimately like what looks like 5 little peaks. Some of them are different sizes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yes.
I guess at the tip of each one of those, the price is still going up higher and higher until you see a dip down. So that would have been 1. And yeah, okay. I guess I'm kind of answering my own question, just looking closer at some of these hills and valleys you got going on.
So check this out right here, right? So we're on the current time frame, 15 minutes. So right here, we have a nice little blue wave here. Mm-hmm. We got snake eyes right here. And we have a wave that's a decent amount less than this one. So I draw my little line. I enter in when the white cuts into the blue. And so we'll see what happens maybe by the end of this stream, right? We're on the 15-minute. So this would have been a long entry at $10,611.
So why are you connecting those two? And so that's on a 15-minute chart. Now, if you go to like a 1 hour or a 4 hour, what's the difference in those two peaks? So it's
well, it's a big difference when you change time frames. Mm-hmm. I mean, everything changes, right? I
guess I'm trying to figure out, if you're trading this in real time, are you basically, you're looking at the first peak and you're saying, I'm going to wait until this is confirmed with a second one? Or
yes.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Yes. And so, and you're looking, you can go back a little bit, but I'm looking within like the general kind of recent charting. So let's take like this hump, for example. I'm not going to go super far back, right? Mm-hmm. But like on my same screen, I'm looking for a blue wave that goes lower, right? If I'm on the top side, I'm looking for a blue wave that goes higher. For example, here, we got some right here. So here we go. We have some tall ones. We got a bunch right here that we were eating during this. You'll see this is like back to back to back. So let's start with this one. Boom. This one's higher than this one. Boom. You entered even this candle. Maybe even if you waited for it to confirm, you got it at $7,957. Boom. It came down to $7,500.
I'm going to stop you right there because this is the perfect example. So don't touch anything. So you've got those two lines. Now you're on a 3-hour chart. And so if I'm trading this in real time, I'm actually going to be looking at the first dot you created. So your left side, that's actually going to be, if I'm trading this in real time, that's ultimately going to be the right side. Mm-hmm. Well, it's separated by that low. So, okay. Yeah, because I'm looking at it to the left. Well, who's to say that this, if I'm trading this in real time, so you've got that line, but right in between that line, you've got one hump coming down, and then you've got another one. So I would potentially, if I were trading this in real time, exactly right there. That's where I would ultimately be trading this, right? I mean,
you could have entered this one, and this one, right? And so your average could have been in 7,952, and you're looking to exit when the wave comes down to the bottom.
So on that second one, I would have basically exited.
Yeah, so I'll put a little arrow. So this would have been where you entered right here and right here, right? So you entered this one, you're like, I hope it goes down. And you went, oh, it came up a little bit, right? And so, but you entered again, it's still smaller. Hold on, you can do it, right? And then boom, this blue wave came all the way down, and then we're getting the indication.
Then you got a green light telling you to buy back in and you're ready to go. I will say that when you first started telling me about this and I watched the one video, I was testing in real time. Okay, based off of what his video is saying, this is what I would be doing right now. And I like wrote down like a little hypothetical, like, okay, I'm following this indicator, and I think I sold. I think it was like a sell indication. It was like a sell divergence. And man, it was so right on the fucking nose. Man,
it's awesome. And like sometimes you gotta wait. You'll wait, and sometimes the price will even come up a little bit. Sometimes it'll pump up $100, right? But boom, like when it hits, you're like, damn. Like
I mean, it literally to that. And what I was looking for is right when that light blue disappears. And it's like it goes away. That's basically I look at that. I say, okay, that's when it's telling you specifically when to either buy or sell, depending on if it's on the top or bottom of that baseline. Right there. Right. I looked at that. I was like, okay, right here's where I'm selling, and it just bam went straight down, and I was like floored. I'm like, okay, I don't know if this is fucking magic or like what, because I've seen a lot of indicators, man, and everything's lagging, and so. Nothing is really predictive accurately. Oh, man. But this is the first thing I've seen that's actually pretty accurate in a predictive measure. And
very accurate. And you know what? There's always an opportunity out there on some coin or some stock. I love trading. Bitcoin's my number one. I do trade a couple of shit coins. I do trade some stocks too. But if they're like these both are equal, or let's pretend these were both equal, right? So like these down here, this one is a little lower, but let's pretend if they were both equal in size, or if this one was longer than this one, I'll leave it alone. And it could still be, you could still make money because it's probably the bottom, so you're longing. If there's a green dot there, I'd take it probably. I'm saying without a green dot, whatever. Like if it's not there 100%. You don't have to take it. Like there's so much opportunity. It's going to give it to you. And so, yeah, like this was money because you're entering, you short right here, boom, you exit right here and long because this one is bigger than this one. Right. So not only did you exit from this trade right here, let me change this damn color, but you entered long right here. So boom. You got in at 7,550, we'll call it average middle in the candle. And then boom, it goes up again. This came up to, so the white met the blue right here for the first time. That candle was 8,059. So that's 7,500. We'll even call it 7,600. 8,000, that's a $400 move. Boom. And then look, you got another little hump right there. You could have taken a little short right here. You got in somewhere in this candle from 7,900 to 8,100, and it went down to 7,800, maybe 7,900. That was a small one, but we could expect it, right? And you can just go back and forth, just bam, 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 bam. It's truly amazing.
And realistically, you're going to pick the time frame that's going to dictate how much time you're actually able to spend watching this shit go down during a day. So like if you're, if you're like, okay, I've got 4 hours to trade at my computer today, you're probably going to use like a 5 or 10 minute chart to make these little scalp trades throughout the next few hours. But if you're day trading or swing trading, then you're going to use, like a 4 hour or 1 day chart, right? I mean, that's pretty much kind of the nature of things, because otherwise you could enter a trade on a daily and then you're, unless you're going to exit that before you go to sleep, there's so much that's going to happen through the night.
Correct. Know what time scales you're using. Like I said, the higher the time frame, the more accurate, so to speak. But let's here's one right here. whoops. Here's one large peak and then boom, a smaller peak. So this would have told you to short. This was, I guess, a few days ago, right? So your first short would have been somewhere in this candle, 9,100 all the way up to 9,400. It went down to $8,951, and you had 2, 4, technically 6 hours, 3 chances to get out. And look, it even gives you a place to get out at the bottom. So you entered in short right here from this peak to this peak at 92.50, and then you would have wanted to exit probably here where it shows that it's reversing from the bottom at 89.85, right? And then look at this. On the same screen, you have a nice peak right here with a nice green dot, back charging it, okay? Boom. You got the white coming into this nice little hump. Well, when was this? This was at $9,050. This shit went to $100,000. So it went to $11,300, right? So that was a big one. You know what I mean?
So tell me so if the green cloud on the bottom is transactional activity, what's everything else? Like, what's the yellow cloud? What's the red cloud? And then let's get into the lines that are going through there.
Yeah. So the yellow wave is something called VWAP, which is generally more used in standard financial markets, stands for volume weighted daily average. It's just a kind of like another oscillator, right? Generally, like on Wall Street, people enter long under the volume weighted average. They short over top of it. There's another indication on the support and resistance about that. And so just another kind of momentum thing, right? These lines up here are your RSIs. The red and this green one right here is the stochastic RSI. The other one is your standard RSI. And basically, they are smoothed to one line, color-coded. And so, for example, when it's green, these RSIs go from 100 to 0. I prefer RSIs moving on 100 to 0 scale, not minus this and plus that. And so when it's green, obviously the RSI is down a little bit. Look, the money flows deep red, so that makes sense. So there's blood in the water, blood in the water. Look, we got snake eyes right here, blood's in the water. And so, I mean, this is a bottom indication right here, right?
So when the RSI is green, so is that change? Because it looks like it changes color. Sometimes the green turns red. Is that like overbought, oversold, or what exactly does that mean? What's the difference?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And so when it's red, it's oversold. Excuse me, when it's red, it's overbought. Green, oversold.
Gotcha.
Yep. And so just a simpler way to look at it.
No, I like that because that allows me to get rid of the one at the top.
Yeah. Another trick here on the daily or the larger time frames, when the money flow is thick, this green is thick. When we dip from the blue waves under the green waves, we rocket back up very strong. You see here, we came down. Here, let's take a look see here. So we ripped down here, ripped all the way up a bunch. And so when we're coming deep in here on the daily and coming back up, I mean, we're looking for a big move coming up, big general direction move. I also, use market cipher in combination with patterns. Bitcoin loves repeating itself. It'll take 1, 2, 3, or 4 patterns. This kind of doesn't have anything to do with market cipher. If I was at your conference, Crow, you have a conference, the Chainwise,
yeah,
right?
Chainwise.
And I was thinking about last night. I was like, man, I saw you have someone doing like a beginner TA. I was like, man, I would love to go in there and do advanced TA. So let me just spit some advanced TA, whether it's related to market cipher or not. with head and shoulders with Bitcoin, it doesn't matter if it's inverse. So most people say head and shoulders, okay, boom, this is normal head and shoulders, it's going to break down, right? If it was inverse, it's going to break up. That's not true from what I've discovered, from what I've learned with Bitcoin. What matters with head and shoulders with Bitcoin is the baseline, the actual bot. If the baseline is tilted upwards, whether it's inverse or regular, it is much more likely to shoot up. If the baseline of the head and shoulders, we have some recent examples too. In fact, let me show you. Let's take a look, see here. Okay, check this out. Where the hell were we here? Damn, God, they're all over the place when like I'm not trying to look for it. There was two major ones on our channel. Anyways, whatever, forget it.
Isn't that at the right? I mean, those three right there, wouldn't that be a head and shoulders?
I don't know.
Or no, because it's not touching the same baseline.
I can't see right now, dude. Like I said, I've been up for over 24 hours, and so maybe I'm just like brain farting right now. But yeah, so look at the baseline on head and shoulders. There was one that like literally we just used.
Like that to me looks like a head and shoulders right there, right at the end.
Okay, all right, here we go. Where was the one that was on my channel, man? God, it was so clear, and it was like just recent. It's when we went from like something to 10. We went to up to 10,500 from it too. And I don't know, I'm just like screwed up right now. But anyways, yeah, look at the baselines. What's more important is there's all kinds of patterns that it picks. Just Bitcoin will pick 2, 3, or 4 patterns and repeat them over like a month or a couple weeks. And one it could be a bullish pattern. It could be a weird triangle. Like when we were going down, Bitcoin was always making like weird triangle patterns, but it would make the same like 3 or 4. So when it was the weird triangle pattern, it would be going down. Sometimes there's weird triangle patterns and it goes up and people think it's a continuation pattern and they get screwed. So just keep an eye out for repetitive patterns with Bitcoin. It's actually easier. It makes it easier on you. People say that history doesn't repeat itself, which is the dumbest thing I ever heard. They go, oh, based if just because it happened in history doesn't mean it's going to happen again.
With Bitcoin, though, it's kind of different, man. I was just talking about this earlier today. Because you can almost set your watch to some of the activity that goes on with Bitcoin, just different time frames. Like time frames being, you know, every few months or once a year or every 4 years. It's like it's almost like this cyclical thing that's happening, almost like it has a mind of its own. I had this theory that the baseline of Bitcoin trading all happens on a bunch of powerful AI bots that basically are already predetermined over a period of like so many years. It's probably not the case, but that's just the way it looks because you can almost set your watch to what's happening.
Yeah, it's also, you know, like
I'm glad you turned that on because I wanted you to go into the like the purple and the yellow lines and all that, like support resistance and all that. How does that come about and how do you use it?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up for you. Let me get rid of B here. Okay, let's get rid of that. So the third leg of Market Cipher.
Not here to talk about my third leg there, Face, but I appreciate you.
Is support and resistance. Okay. Now, I almost forgot. Market Cipher is designed for Heiken Ashi candles. Okay. So some of you may be wondering why my candles are like all green and then all red and why it looks so simple. Standard candles were created by the Japanese long time ago, like thousands of years ago, before like people even spoke English, right? And then Heiken Ashi candles were basically created by the same ancestral Chinese 60 or 100 years ago. It's more modern. It's much easier on the eyes. It gives you, it's almost like a built-in Elliott wave. It doesn't hurt your eyes. If I go to regular candles, you have no idea what the hell's going on. People are trying to figure out candle shit. Heiken Ashi candles, it's a little bit different in how the candles are calculated. But I only trade with Heiken and sheet candles. And so Market Cipher is designed for Heiken and sheet candles. So make sure you're on Heiken and sheet candles. It still works with normal candles, but your indicators will be might be just a little bit different. So,
I changed mine over, and I feel like it does somehow it does flow a little easier, I think.
Yeah, big time. Once you go to Heiken and sheet candles, man, you don't go back. So first rule with Market Cipher support. Generally, so I'm on the hourly. What I'm going to do is click this little cog wheel, and I'm going to change the resolution to 3 to 4 times less than my current time frame. Is generally the rule of thumb, but it is not a necessity. So if I'm on the hourly, I'm going to change my resolution to 15 minutes, and that's going to adjust my purple and yellow dots, okay? The purple dots are exit points, okay? The more purple dots, the more confident that is like a line of resistance or support, so on and so forth. You're looking for more dots, right? The yellow is buying. There's a lot of yellow dots right here. This is at 10,600, right? Which we've basically been bouncing off of. If you've been buying at 10,600 with safe leverage, you've been doing pretty good for the past like 10 hours, right? This white line in the middle is also VWAP, volume weighted average, right? The trick with VWAP is it gives you a reading on gaps. Now, I don't really want to put too much weight into this with crypto. I feel like gaps don't really hold as much weight with crypto because of how parabolic things are. But a general rule in technical analysis is when there is a gap created, it must be filled. Let me tell you something too. People talk about gaps right now. They go, well, right now there's a current gap at 4,000, 5,200, 6,000, right? But you know what? We have already filled those gaps. People are talking about this exchange gaps, this exchange. We have gaps on Bitcoin. We had gaps all the way up from 3,000 and up. We've already filled those gaps. We went up and it came back down and filled those gaps. So when someone right now, in my opinion, is talking about any gap from like 3,200 and above, it doesn't matter to me. We don't have to necessarily come back down to 35 or 3,200. We've already filled those gaps. Just a little side note that I haven't heard anyone else think about. And it's like common sense to me. So anyways, with this white line, what you're looking for is every day when there is a closing. So VWAP is volume weighted daily average. It is a line calculated on the daily. So when a day ends and a new day starts, you'll often see like a spike, right? With the white line, you're looking for a 90-degree angle to basically signify a gap, okay? Is this making any sense at all, man?
You'll get there.
Okay, so let me make it
I get the white
simple.
line, basically a straight up white line is creating a gap. So
Correct.
What does that mean?
So in a standard market, let's say make your gap, you'd expect it to come back down and fill the gap. And that would mean that this was a healthy, bullish gap fill. And so we can.
Oh, dude, you just made a light go off for me. Okay.
That's what gaps are all about. Yep.
I do need to get you to chain wise, man. I need to, because I'm learning so much just listening to you. It's crazy.
Thanks. Well, that's all I have to say. A couple tips. I mean, what else do I got? I don't know. We're all kicking ass. I have over half the people that I feel like get Market Cipher. They're messaging me. People are paying off credit cards. I've had people flee. I know my people hear this story all the time, but I've had South Africans call me and leave me voicemails. They say, "Crypto face, man, I'm able to leave South Africa. I've had white people leave South Africa that were getting their land taken over, single mothers, all kinds of shit. Traders that have been trading for a long time. Honestly, in my opinion, Cipher A and Cipher B is the money. You guys can use these on shit coins. In fact, let's pull one up here. I have a beautiful example. I'm not a big shit coin guy, but if I had to choose a shit coin, mine is Zcash. Okay. So Zcash had a rather large pump. It was the only coin. You remember like a few days ago, dude? It went up like a lot, right? So check this out. Okay. Looking at the blue waves. All right. So we got some snake eyes right here. That's a good sign. So I'm looking for smaller waves. This wave right here is a little suspicious, but they do work. They do work. And by suspicious, I mean I like to see like good, thick blue waves.
Activity.
You know what I'm saying?
You like to see,
and you'll get a feel for it. You'll get a feel for it. So, all right, we got a smaller wave. Boop. Our entry would have been somewhere in this candle. We had 2 hours to get in from $78.26. Oh, whoops. I'm tripping. Here we go. $76 up to 77.5. Oh, I'm still tripping. My bad. I was right. 77 to 78.5. And boom, it went up to $84.
And you had the 2 humps for the divergence indication, which is basically telling you it's good to sell because so you circled the first one and then you got the second one, and even though it's small, you might call it suspicious, but if you were trading that's basically when the price dipped down below the baseline and then started again for another second divergence on the up. And so you would if I had control, I'd basically be like, okay, so you're selling at the little tiny peak, you're riding the price down, you're establishing the first wave of divergence into the second. Then you've got at the very bottom, right where that green light, that green dot goes on, that's basically confirming that the price is about to reverse, at which point you would buy back in at a much lower, and then away you go. And if you were trading that from start to finish, you'd probably, I mean, that looks like a 30% trade overall over the course of, what do you want, a 2 hour? So
man,
that's crazy.
I mean, it's amazing. So here we have 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, you know, a half a day. We'll even call it like 3/4 of a day. And this was a 7.3% move.
So 7, and then you're selling at that second peak. So if you're selling
you can sell at either peak, right? And so you don't have to wait for necessarily, when you're looking to exit the trade, you can exit or start to exit on the first time the white cuts into the blue.
But that's a little riskier though, wouldn't it? Like you kind of want that second one for more of a confirmation, wouldn't you?
Not necessarily,
really?
Because it could. But I mean, like you're kind of. Yeah, I get what you're saying. You don't have to exit your whole trade in one shot. You know, you can split it up
average
in 2
out,
or however you want to. But the general rule of thumb is sometimes there's not a second wave, dude. There's only one. So we don't know if this wave could just look like this. We don't know that there's going to be an extra little hump there, right? So if we wait for a second hump to form, it might not ever come, and then the price is going to come back down. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, cool.
And I would suggest anybody, especially anybody who is using this indicator, I wouldn't dive right into Bitcoin. If I were using this, I would trade something that's cheaper. I would practice with a shit coin against like Ethereum or something that is, you know, something that you might want to accumulate that then maybe you can turn into Bitcoin later. But ultimately, I'm already like starting to like kind of paper trade some of these signals, these divergences and such. And I'm basically writing a lot of stuff down as I'm learning. I'm not actually even risking anything because I'm basically paper trading, literally paper trading.
Man, you've been missing out, bro. You should have been because we've been getting real paper, bro. Like this, I'm telling you.
I'm rich,
There
bitch.
are windows that are so good and juicy, and you have to take advantage of them because they're not always there. But the beautiful thing is there is always a window with Market Cipher.
And I believe that. And that's why I have you on here, because I do think this is a very solid indicator from everything that I've seen, from everything that I've done on my own. And I want to reiterate the fact he is not paying me shit to do this tonight. Even though it sounds like we're doing a big old like infomercial on whatever the home shopping network. It's not the case at all. I'm making nothing. If 50 million people go out and buy this because of this video tonight, I'm not making a fucking dime. So, but I call it when I see it. You know what I mean? It's like the same way as some people pay me to do reviews and different things, and I tell people it's shit. It is what it is. But you know, I still, you know, for because there are a lot of newcomers, right? And I you know, just you know, it doesn't matter how good an indicator is. If the individual using it isn't versed, practiced, understands what he's using or he or she is using, what they're doing with the indicator, you can still lose money. It doesn't matter if you're following the chart. It doesn't matter what you do. You can always lose money following any kind of indicator. The idea is if you're going to use something, and I will say this is probably one of the most powerful and effective indicators that I have had on my trading view, and I've experimented with a lot of shit. And so I will say that. But that being said, I would still encourage people to practice with stuff like, you know, even like Sia coin against Ethereum, like just stuff that is pennies so that you can make trades and you're going to win and lose, but you're learning. And then once you've gotten to the point where, okay, I'm going to trade for a week on a 2-hour chart, I'm going to cross-reference that to a 4-hour, a day, and a 15-minute, and you're getting the hang of swinging back and forth between these charts, making those trades. Once you're comfortable and you say, okay, I've learned in this week's period, I would have made X amount of dollars based off of the activity and the trades that I'm making because of the indicator, then you might want to move up into something like Bitcoin where, you know, look, $100 worth of Bitcoin, you can accumulate that. But if you make a wrong move, you know, that's when things get more serious, right? So that's all I'm saying is just practice and make your mistakes using something that's much less valuable and then move up, you know, as you're learning.
Thank you for your compliments, by the way. So I saw someone in the chat was like, yo, pull up, you know, the SPY or the stock market. So right here I have what I believe is a absolute shitter company, which is Lyft. I hate's a strong word, but I feel like it's evil. These big mega corporations that just aren't profitable, they lose money. It's companies like Lyft, Uber, right, where they just burn money, and they're able to sustain putting, you know, small to mid-sized businesses out because of small to mid-sized business can't profit, right? So in my opinion, if Market Cipher can trade a shit stock like Lyft, it can trade anything, right? So here we have Lyft. We have these can be sick plays. So here we have a blue wave. We have a nice blue wave. And right here we have a tiny white little peak that came and peaked and sucked back in. That counts. It doesn't have to be a completely separate blue wave for you to long. It can be on the same wave, and often they are super strong, especially sometimes when they're harder to see. There's something like it'll sneak it on you, but those are big ones. So boom, right here, Lyft. As soon as it crossed in, we'll even say you let it confirm and got in at $57 up to $58.13. That one from $57 up to $65. That's a big one. Let's go right here. Let's go ahead and boom. That's a 13% move on stocks. We're on the 1 hour. Right? Let's check this out. From the other side. We got right here. Boom. We're looking to short this. I love short and Lyft. Right here. Boom. White cuts in. You maybe got in from at 63.51 at worst, 64.38 at best. Price came down to 62.67. It's not the biggest one in the world, but it's a 2-3% play on stocks, which is huge. And it's as long as you're winning every trade, some are going to be bigger than others. Boom. And we got one coming up right here.
So I want to make another kind of point about this, just so people know. A lot of people that that watch my channel, they know that I'm heavily into bot trading, and I kind of made a little bit of an announcement today that basically I'm expecting by next week my bot is going to be ready. And one of the things that we're doing is I'm having the devs basically set it up so that you can trade automatically signals that are put out by indicators like Market Cipher. So, there are different, through SMS, you're basically using the SMS system. You're able to basically get TradingView to send an SMS signal to your bot and say, okay, when the indicator does X, I want to buy or I want to sell. And you're able to do that on the fly so that, if you're not even accustomed to, or you're still learning, you can still trade those indicators through an algorithmic bot, and it's kind of a set it and forget it type of deal. And so, expect that to come, because my bot's actually going to be working with any indicator ultimately that you're using on TradingView, as long as it's set up to send out SMS signals, which most of them are. And I know Market Cipher is one of them because I've already set it up. It's been testing. Mm-hmm. So just wanted to make that known.
Right on, dude. We might got something like that coming too. So yeah, we can chat about that. I see some people in the chat. Just to refresh. So if I longed right here, right, I'm looking to exit on the tops. You know what I'm saying? Or and you're always looking at all kinds of indicators, all kinds of patterns. I mean, any shit coin, you name it, against any pair, it just works on everything. My stock people love Market Cipher with their stocks. I can keep repeating it, but yeah, dude, it's the real deal, and we are literally changing lives. I know you say you think it's a little pricey, but when over half the people make their money back, or most of it on the first day, man, you can save up. You know what? So many people have spent so much money on shit in crypto. I guarantee most people have spent or invested more than $800 or $1,000 into shit ICOs, into scams and stupid ass projects with people all on the other side of the world you're never even going to meet. What's in right now is this leverage trading. And I know a lot of people say, oh, it's gambling, but that's gambling. It's so risky. And it can be.
It is very risky.
But there's ways to do it.
Crypto Face knows what he's doing, folks. Leverage trading is risky as shit. I won't personally do it. So I know some of you guys can make a lot of money with a little bit, but you can also lose a lot of money a lot quicker if you make a bad move.
To give a crash course, no one's going to come knocking on your door. So I know a lot of times when you think leverage, you think you have to get like a loan, right? That's not how it works. You're just risking the money you have on margin. If you're going like right now, Bitcoin is we're going up more. The percentage swings are crazy. So you don't have to go over 7x, 10x. You can do 3x, 5x, and man, the gains stack up. And you know what? I'll tell you another secret. You can make more crypto, more money entering and exiting your scalp trades rather than waiting on the big move. So many people, they have one trading account and they're confused. They're like, oh, I see a signal of some sort. I want to enter on the 15-minute, but they're holding for days. They think it's going to go to 13,000, so they blow up their leverage. You don't need to start off with crazy leverage. What you actually do is start your trade with small leverage. And it's like you're fishing deep water, right? So you got your tuna, you enter your trade. Let's say you enter a trade down here.
What you're doing is you're trying the weed before you get hooked on the coke. That's what you're saying. Because I know how this shit works. And you can start with these little, and as soon as you get a real big win, and that's the similarity between that and gambling. Because, it's educated gambling, sure, but especially when you're talking about crypto and Bitcoin, you never really know what the hell. I mean, obviously this indicator helps, but it's like you never know with 100% certainty what's going to happen in the next 10 minutes, 5 minutes. I mean, some manipulation, some whale decides to dump. I mean, you just never know. And that's why I always tell people, like, leverage trade at your own risk. You know, seek help if you make a bad move, because it can be nasty. I know I'm countering you, Face, and I don't mean to. But
oh no, you're fine, dude.
You know, I definitely, you know, I know that a lot of people that are new to crypto, they come and they watch my channel, and I try to teach them everything I can, and I definitely like to make sure both sides are represented, because I never want to mislead anybody into thinking that they're going to make millions of dollars with, you know, 15 cents, you know, doing leverage trading and things. But what I will say, pull up the Market Cipher website so people know where to go. We've been at this for a while. I know my wife is leaving for Florida at 5 a.m. in the morning, so I want to basically, I don't want to be on too late tonight, but I will say that, you know, I'm going to continue experimenting and doing my thing with this indicator, and I'm going to continue showing people what I'm doing and you know, kind of what it's been doing for me. And I'll probably have you back on, you know, maybe in a month or so, and see kind of where I'm at with it, and maybe continue this on.
For sure. Real quick, you know, it's just like me and my brother. If you get Market Ciphers, a couple of steps, I'm on Discord. And so that's where all the details are on my channel, Crypto Face. You can go to either www.shittokens.com, or you can go to cryptofacecrypto.com.
You actually have shittokens.com as a URL.
Shittokens.com, baby. That was going to be the name of my YouTube channel.
Wow.
But it ended up not being. So shittokens.com is mine. And CryptoFace Crypto, I'm on Instagram, yada, yada, yada. It's 0.1 Bitcoin for a year access. Please don't ask me for discounts. I'll do 10% off for the Crow. Just say I'm from the Crow live stream Crow, and you know, we'll do it for 0.09. Thank you, Crow, for having me on here. The truth is it's the real deal. It's the best indicator I've ever used, and I'd admit that. No, if it wasn't even my indicator, you can do it. I know everyone says trading. You don't have to even use it with leverage trading. You can use it with normal trading. But it works. It is accurate. It is frequent. And it's you can learn it. I'm not going to say it's easy to learn, but it's if you can't do this, then you shouldn't probably be in trading. It's not hard. It's really simple. Scan your time frames. You know what I'm saying? Don't just enter because you see one red dot or one red X or one green dot on the 2 minute. Look at all your larger time frames. Identify your environment. I'd love to come back on the channel, man. You know, I'm always here, dude. And hopefully we did a good job at explaining this.
Yeah, man, I'm really digging this. So now I'm looking at myself. I don't know if he just left Zoom or what happened, but I see he shared his screen again.
I did. I'll stop share. Sorry.
Oh no, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, man, I really do. I like the indicator, and I definitely wanted to make sure that I had the opportunity to get you on and kind of teach people, you know, more how to use it, what things mean. You know, hey, check it out, try it out, experiment, learn. I'm going to continue following this indicator myself. I was getting really, really bullish on Ichimoku Cloud, but I've since turned it off, and now I'm honestly just using this. So thanks for the free indicator. I didn't have to pay anything for it. I guess but he never said, hey, I'll give you a free copy of this indicator if you have me on your channel. He just wanted me to check it out and see what I thought. So, you know, I definitely dig it, and hopefully it does help a lot of people. So, make sure you guys check it out. Thank you, Crypto Face, the dark, mysterious ninja trader in the room. And, to those of you guys, if you like this video tonight, I would appreciate it. Like it, share it. Leave your comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you learned in this, because I would definitely like to have more people on teaching their tools. Not just me teaching everybody, but learning about what else is out there, what else is available. So like it, share it, hit the alert, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And until next time, guys, crow your coins, and I'll see you again soon. Have a good night.